Hey, welcome back. This is Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. If I were to ask you, do you want a crazy man? You'd probably say no, but if I said in one particular place, you'd know what I mean. You'd want to be able to drive him crazy in the bedroom, of course. For many women, they know that this is kind of their holy grail, just knowing how to drive a man crazy like this. Well, I'm going to tell you how to do this and do it the right way here. And of course, you want to make sure to keep getting all this goodness from me, so make sure you do the big three. Make sure you like and subscribe. Of course you would. Why wouldn't you want to get more of it? And of course, turn on that little notification bell next to the subscribe button so you know when the next one comes out. And if you want to suggest a video or you have some particular question, you can always put it in the comment section below. Again, this is kind of the holy grail for a lot of women because they know how many men are driven by his bedroom desires. Most women focus exclusively on this, but they're missing the point. If you do focus on this one area too much, you're going to miss the real point of how to make it work. As they say, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. But you have to understand that nailing him, do you like my little pun there? That was clever, huh? Is not like making him committed to you. It's a totally different thing. So you've got to know what is going to work. Let me give you some tips. Tip number one is conquering him in the bedroom is not your job. It's his, okay? Ultimately, the responsibility for impressing and for doing all the work really comes down to the man. If you are doing all the work in the bedroom, if you're doing all the work to try and get this guy committed to you on some level, which is part of why you're focused on the sexy time, I'm sure it's also for your fun, but let's face it, we know that men become more committed once they are sexually connected to you. But focus on the fact that he needs to be winning you over first. That's the real focus of all this work. Yes, all men want this crazy sex vixen in the bedroom, but the true reality is that we want you to let us lead the way. Tip number two is, it's not your sexual prowess or your techniques. What will make him addicted to you is your skill at the big F. You know what it is? No, it's not that four-letter F. It's foreplay. Foreplay is like, it's like a slow-cooked meal. The longer it takes, the better it tastes. And the more it drives you crazy, right? Waiting for it. You ever been to a restaurant where you had to wait for the dishes to arrive or they came slowly one after the other? This is why eating Spanish tapas is so tasty and fun and delightful, because you've got time to really sample and enjoy the food. It's the same thing in the bedroom. Take your time getting to sex the very first time you guys get to the bedroom. In other words, don't do it on the first night. If you're doing it on the first date, you're ignoring every bit of common sense that has been passed down for the last 20,000 years. Yes, cave people were always telling other cave people to do the same thing. Look, you can't rush it. Don't rush it, because that's where we lose the enjoyment. We're in a society that just loves getting everything now, now, now. This is one thing that has to take its time. And then, after you've had that first time, the next times you guys get together and you know that's coming up, don't rush to it. It shouldn't be the first thing you do, okay? Make sure it is the thing at the end. And again, take your time with it after. Quickies are only going to lower your replay value. That's what I call it when he keeps coming back for more. Tip number three is one you've probably already heard about, or at least somewhat familiar with, and that's variety. Always have him expecting the unexpected. The more you can do this, the better. Don't make every single one of your encounters the same. It's going to get so boring. Same position, same place, all that. No, 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 no. Make sure you give him some variety. All kinds of different ways you can do that, the least of which is just different rooms, different places, different positions. Tip number four is not every meeting with him should end up in the bedroom. Arrange other stuff to do. You know, you got to be able to find other activities to keep you occupied. It can't all be about that, or that's the only thing he's going to come to you for. And I know, and no, that was not a pun. And I know that you want more than that. 99% of all women that come to Carlos for advice all want to know the same thing. How to get him actually committed to you. Not just the bedroom stuff, but get him to really stick with you. And you can't do that if you're just making it too easy. So don't do that. Do other stuff. Make sure you go out and explore new places in town. Play games together. Go to dinner theater. Just do different things, okay? Men come back for what they think they haven't gotten yet. Keep that in mind. Tip number 5, it's always dessert. Your intimate bedroom time, this is kind of connected to the last one. Your intimate bedroom time is never the main course or served too early. It's always the culmination of everything that came up before it. A movie has a payoff because of the time that we invest in it. You know, a good hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes 2.5 or even 3 hours for those long ones, and we're invested in it. The ending is going to mean something. You don't have that same feeling after a 30-minute TV show, do you? No, they never have that impact. Now you get it, right? Tip number 6, use your text messages to get them started up. This stuff starts early in the day. First thing in the morning, you should be starting up the teasing. You should starting to send them little pictures of clothes you want to wear, or ideas, or things you're going to do. You can put this all in text. Don't give it all away. The more you tease them, the more mystery and chase you add to it, the better. The next tip is to draw it out. Make it last. You know, use toys, use different positions, use different locations to make it take a long time. The longer he takes to get where you both are going, the more he's also bonding to you. This is something you might not know about. The longer that time period that he's actually engaged in the act of intimate fun with you, let's call it intimate fun, what the heck. I'm trying to keep this somewhat PG-13 for the YouTube crowd. Just keeping it so that he is engaged with you, the more he's going to be bonding with you. The longer the time that you can make it take, the better. The next tip is to compliment him and talk to him. Don't compliment him on his size. Only do that if it's true. It's better left out of the conversation entirely because you don't want to artificially inflate his ego, but there's so many different things you can do. You can whisper in his ear. You can praise him afterwards. Praise him on technique more than anything physical, and that's going to reach him. That's what a guy really wants to feel like he's master of. He knows his skills. And then talk about only this encounter. Don't start talking about the future. That's going to freak him out. Don't talk about the past, that's all done. Talk about what's happening right now. And then hint at the next time. Just hint that there might be a next time is all you have to do. And finally, the last tip, and this is the most important tip of all. This is really the whole reason for this video. So if you've gotten to this point, you need to hear this one. It all comes down to one word in the end. You know what that word is? Enthusiasm. If you want to rock his world in the bedroom, you have to be enthusiastic. That's it. That's all he's looking for. Enthusiasm tells him you're sincere. It tells him you're into it. It tells him you're into him. It tells him that this is real, because the one thing a man is worried about in the back of his head, he's kind of concerned about, is she just faking this? Is she playing a game? Is this an act just to win me over? Is this some clever way she's tricking me into a relationship? That's what's usually the putting on the brakes for a lot of guys. Your sincerity, your enthusiasm, your excitement to be there doing this is 99% of the game. Technique is almost none of it. And believe me, you can get that from any book off the bookshelves. Let's be serious here, okay? Or just go out and cruise some, internet sites. You know the ones I'm talking about. They can show you some technique if you need to learn that. But let's be serious here. The one thing that matters most of all is that connection in the bedroom. If you can't connect with him, ultimately this is for nothing. This is only going to be your quick little fun time with him, and he's going to be off to somebody else. You've got to use this time to make that real connection with him. How do you do that? Well, there's really only one way you can do it, and that is by understanding how men think and how to dial into that programming, how to know his thinking so that you can say the right thing at the right time, do the right thing at the right time, and win his heart. It's essential, it's critical, and it's the only thing that's going to get you the relationship you really want with him. Now, I've got a ton of resources, a ton of different ways you can learn this stuff, but the one way that's most important to you is to get started on the right foot, to get started learning what men want and what they don't want. Most often, women make a bunch of mistakes, whether it comes to the bedroom or it comes to relationships. They're making a bunch of mistakes because they don't understand how men are different than women. It's absolutely critical that you understand what he's thinking and what it is he really wants. Here's the big difference. Women start out wanting the commitment, and then they feel comfortable enough to settle into the relationship sexually and to open up more in other areas. Men are the opposite. We want to know that you're going to be open to us sexually first, and then we get more open and intimate and vulnerable. That's the critical difference between men and women. We just have our priorities flipped at the very start. Eventually, we come together and we have the exact same desires. I'll bet you didn't know that, did you? But that's how you can use that information to get you in with him and get him not only in his bedroom, but also into his heart, which is what you really want. It's easy to get into a guy's bedroom, much harder to get into his mind and his heart to make him really obsessed with you. If you want to do that, I can show you how to do it. And as a matter of fact, one of the best ways you can do it is to learn what those mistakes are that you're making right up front, so you can stop doing that. That's pretty much half the battle right there. If you stop making all the screw-ups, you're going to put yourself ahead of 99% of the other women out there. Go on to the link you see below me here. That's datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. That's datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. Now, I know you're saying, but Carlos, I don't have any questions. You don't have to. Just put in your email in that blank and you can get my free ebook, The 7 Mistakes That Women Make That Push Men Away. And if you do have a question for me, put it in there. I want to see it. I want to know your questions. I want to know exactly what it is you want to know. I can't answer every one of them, but I promise you I will get back to you with some great stuff. Plus, you'll be on my newsletter and you'll be able to get that information right off the bat. Hey, this is Carlos. Before you run away, don't just jump over to another Carlos video. I mean, you can do it after you're done with me here, but make sure you do the big 3. Make sure you, number 1, like and subscribe. This is awesome stuff. Number 2, turn on notifications so you know when the next video comes out. And of course, if you have a suggestion for a new video, put that in the comment section below. Hey, this is Carlos Cavallo. Go on over to datingfire.com/Ask Carlos. Get your free ebook, and of course, get on my newsletter and ask me a question if you want. As always, live and love with passion.